What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet's back in the studio, and today I have a very special guest joining me, Anthony Spinks from FHS Youth Soccer. How are we doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for taking the time to come up and talk soccer with me. I don't know much about soccer. I was not a soccer player. So I tried playing one time as goalie and I got hurt and I'm done.
So the story goes.
that was my career. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Bloomfield, moved to Shelburne in 2013. I met my wife. My boy played baseball, kind of got bored with it, so he wanted to try something else. Yeah. So he started playing soccer and really liked it. So where he was at, there were a lot of kids, but obviously in our area we didn't have soccer at all. Okay. So, my wife threw the idea of, hey, why don't you start a soccer league?
Wives have the best idea.
They do, don't they? So, I said, I just don't think. So, a couple months later, she brings it up again. And I'm like, you know what? This is your fault if this thing works out. So, I'm like, okay, well, we'll try it. So, we gauged the interest and talked to North Central about having a school affiliated team. And he's like, well, maybe starting with a recreational league to see how it does. Yeah. And so in our first season, the fall of 2024, we had 84 kids. And I'm like, that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty good for starting out.
So that was rec, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then once we got to the spring of last year, we all kind of got surprised, I guess you'd say, because we ended up with 153 kids.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we weren't really prepared for that.
That's a good problem to have.
It is. So the good issue, I guess you could say we had with that was not enough volunteers, but plenty of kids, which was great.
Yeah. I think that's a common problem, not enough volunteers.
It is. Yes.
And before anybody gets off me, I've been involved with youth sports for a long time, so don't even think about it.
So yeah, we're going into our fourth season. And we had a lot of kids, even after the deadline, we've had a lot of kids. Yep. Hey, can we play? You can't turn kids away. You can't.
Like we always have late registration.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a late fee, but the late fee never comes into play. But anyway, we wanted to make something affordable. Mm-hmm. Some kids had never played sports.
Yeah.
We're kind of aiming more for, whatever sport a kid wants to play. I'm absolutely on board with, but a lot of kids never played sports, so like, well, what, give it a try. And obviously, retention is a big thing in sports, and we've been really fortunate with that. Yes. And the parents have been maybe a little biased here, but we've got the best group of parents I think I've seen. People are always willing to step up and help, and our coaches have been phenomenal. 80% of them had never coached a soccer team before. Oh, wow. But, if you can jump in there and work with these kids and instill confidence in them and, hey, you're valuable,
And that's, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're okay.
I always said, wins and losses doesn't determine how good of a coach you are. It's the kid's coming back. Mm-hmm. The kid coming back, you made an impact.
Right. So. Right. And at the end of the season, like you said, you hope you see him again,
exactly.
Exactly. And I mean, every team I've coached from day one, I've told them, I said, I don't want you to be the best player on the team. I want you to be the best player for the team. And they understand it after a while. Hey, it's repetition, and but it's just been, I won't say overwhelming, but kind of overwhelming, just because we've had so many kids from different towns, Linton, Sullivan. We designed it for the Farmersburg, Highmere, and Shelburne kids. I mean, they came from everywhere. Yeah. And so we're like, we got to give these kids more.
Exactly.
So it's like, well, can we start some sort of travel team where they're playing like in a school environment? So last year we had a middle school team.
Okay.
And, not all schools offer soccer. So it's like, let's give them that school-like environment where they can play against competition and get that experience where, hey, I'm doing something cool.
Yes.
So it's carried over. This winter Like, oh, well, you know, we did okay with the middle school. Can we advance to a high school team? And that was awesome too, because I'm like, you know, this might take a while. Within the first month, we had 14, 15 kids on board. Mm-hmm. So it's been great. And right now we're in the scheduling process, you know, talking with other schools. And, you know, a lot of the schools only want to play maybe one scrimmage a year. So we're just kind of getting some feelers out there.
Now, with that, are you going after like school, like say Northfield soccer team? Are you like working with them, or are you looking more for like more travel clubs, or how does that?
So I actually went to a board meeting at Shakamak last Thursday to try to introduce the program there. Didn't get a yes, didn't get a no. They want more information. So, you know, I've kind of gave them the numbers on kids from kindergarten to senior year. And, you know, they wanted some financials, and that's so broad because, you know, you can spend nothing or you can break the bank with it. Yeah. So, you know, again, it's preference on what these folks want to buy, and how much they want to invest in it. And I'm sure it's tricky for these athletic directors with baseball, basketball, you know, football, all that stuff. So we're just taking a day at a time, and everything's been positive.
Got a bug.
And, you know, people will
keep going,
come to me and, hey, props to you and this. And I'm like, it's not just me. It's we, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of our success is people feel involved.
Yeah.
You know, we had a field cleanup day last spring, and people that showed up are just awesome. You know, no questions asked. They come in, what can we do? How can we help? I mean, within 2 hours, we had that place cleaned up. And
that is awesome.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds like this community is rallying behind your program.
They are.
That is phenomenal, because sometimes youth programs get put on the back burner in the community. They're like, well, we'll get there if we have time.
Right.
That, as we know, with time, when you try to make it, though.
Right.
So that's phenomenal.
Right. And our North Central, our superintendent and their school board has been awesome to help us out. I mean, with equipment when we got started, actually the first day of my team's practice, one of the boys that was playing, his dad was out there already putting goals together. And they just came in the box, and he's out there putting these goals together. Oh, wow. He's like, oh, yeah, you look like you need help. And like, yeah, I mean, it's beyond appreciated, you know, and that's another good thing is we've got several families that have been there since day one, you know, and nothing's changed. Or if you need help, you know, let us know. Like, absolutely. So yeah, it's just been a blessing for the kids, and I think even the parents, you know, something different.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, I'm on board with whatever sport any kid wants to play. But you know, soccer seems to be a more growing sport around here. So yeah, I mean, whatever they can do to get involved, or, you know, it's not for everybody. I understand that too, but, the friendships these kids make, you know,
building bonds, building memories, and really those memories last a life.
Yes.
And that's the cool thing about sports, clubs, activities. The kids make those memories, and because sometimes adulthood is not the best.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I had a good childhood, and they can reflect back and smile.
Exactly. Yes. And you know, some kids are, you know, maybe they don't have the resources to play or somebody to get them to from practice, and like, hey, if you guys can't afford it, let somebody know.
Yes.
We got it. You know, our sponsors take pretty good care of us.
We offer scholarship.
We can waive registration fees. Really don't ask any questions, you know, just let us know. That's it. If we don't know, we can't help, you know? So yeah, it's been unbelievable, to say the least.
Good. I want to rewind real quick. Your very first season. So you get, your wife comes up with the idea, and you finally say yes. What happens after that? What kind of walk us through? What's going through your mind? Like, am I crazy? Is this what's going on? Or kind of walk us through that very first season.
You were right about the am I crazy part. No, I basically started doing research. I'm like, you know, who do I need to get in contact with? What are all the legalities about this?
Yes.
So I had reached out to my son's he was his baseball coach for 2-3 years. And he's like, yeah, you need to talk to Jeremy Swalls. At the time, he was on the school board, and he was golden. But he kind of rephrased your question. He's like, do you know what you're getting into? I'm like, no, but you know what? I'm willing to find out. Because when you coach a team, and to me, the most rewarding part is when they say, I want you to be my coach again, or I want to play for you again. I mean, that's awesome. It tells you you've done something right.
That is a great feeling. And I've always said the biggest dividend in coaching is when you see them in public later on, and they run up, they're excited to see you. They want to talk to you. They're not like going down the opposite. I was like, I'm coach, I'm out of here.
Right.
That's the biggest dividend, as I like to say.
Absolutely. So from there, we just kind of scrapped it together. We went out and got sponsors. Did a lot of traveling around that first go around with signups. We went to had several at our Shelburne Police Department. One of the pizza places we have down there. Where else did we go? Oh, Jasonville. We had quite a few trips over there, and we had no online stuff at that.
This is roots on the pavement. Okay.
Yep.
Old school. I like that.
Yes, sir. So yeah, and again, like I said, we had the 84 kids, and we're like, okay, well, we're going to divide them up and let them run and see what happens, and
about how many teams was that?
I think we had 8 or 9 in our first.
And was that like across all ages, or just that was?
Yes. So we have, let's see, the first, I'm thinking we had a 3 to 5, a 7 to 9, and then a 10 plus.
Okay.
So now this season we have a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and then a 10 plus, and we've added more teams to each age group. So it's great. And for our littles, our coaches there, I can't say enough about them because they're awesome.
Yeah.
They keep the kids engaged.
Coaching ages 3 to 6, your Saints.
Yes.
That's not for everyone like that. You are awesome people for doing that, stepping up, because I always said, coaching Pee Wee football, I didn't like. Watching Pee Wee football, it's the coolest thing ever, because they say the darndest things. Anything can happen. But being a coach of it pushes you to the limit sometimes. And that's why if you're a Pee Wee coach of any sport, I commend you, because it's not an easy job.
Yeah, because if you go to practice, you're going to know about 5 minutes in what kind of practice it's going to be.
That's very true. You're right. You're right there.
Because you got one over here chasing butterflies, and yeah, it's.
So with FHS Youth Soccer, what's the age levels here? What all age levels do you have for the rec side?
We have 3 to 14, and then we have our 10 plus. With our travel teams, middle school, obviously 5th through 8th graders, and then high school, freshman through senior.
Okay.
And the good thing for the high school team even is there's no seniors.
Okay.
A lot of freshmen, sophomores. I think we have maybe one junior. And I think he's got some experience. A lot of these kids haven't played, which to me sometimes is better, because they
have a hard break.
Yeah.
It's better to take somebody and mold them how you want them.
Right.
And try to break them down and rebuild.
Right. And I'm sure I can speak for a lot of coaches on this, but I don't want the kid that thinks he's the all-star and he's already got everything figured out. Bring me the kids that want to learn and ask questions. And, I've had a handful of kids ask questions. Well, I'm sorry for asking so many questions. Like, no, please. I want to know what you want to learn and then where you're confident. And
it's best to ask those at practice, not in the game when it's crunch time.
Exactly.
Coach, I have a question about this. Why did you ask me on Thursday? Well, I don't.
Yeah, I was like, do we have to do this right now? But yeah, and sometimes they think you're the bad guy because you put them on a spot on the field where they've never played, and I can't do this, and I can't do it. Well, yeah, you can, because if you couldn't do it, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And another rewarding thing is at the end of the season, you kind of look back at where they were when they started. They come in there, they're anxious, and I don't know these kids, I've never played, and in the season they're out there scoring goals or getting assists, and that's another thing, is instilling that hey, it's just as cool to score a goal as it is to get an assist or, you know, back up your teammates.
Absolutely.
Anything like that.
Yeah. Well, like you stated earlier, you know, being the best fit for your team, being the best, and that's what you're going to have. Stars, you're going to have role players, you're going to have support, you're going to have the kids on the sidelines reading them on. Every aspect of the team is very important, no matter what category you fall in. You're important to the team. You are a part of the team, and you are very crucial for that team. And just don't take it like, well, I only scored 3 goals or 1 goal a game. No matter. You're out there hustling. You're getting better, and you're helping these other kids with the sport.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, it's been. Actually, I want to give a shout out to the Shepherd family. You and I were talking earlier. Yeah. These folks have been with us since I think 2021.
Okay.
Their oldest son Lane, I've coached him. And he was 10 years old when he started. Came in there kind of gun shy, you know, like something had happened in a practice, and I had to yell at them all. And he looked at me, and you could tell I had gotten his attention, but he had done something positive. I'm like, hey, you know, good job. And it was like from there, he just took off. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And usually that stuff is contagious, you know, and your teammates will follow suit, or you hope they follow suit. And I don't think he's quit playing soccer ever since then, because I know he played on the Sullivan Middle School team. He does a lot of travel stuff. God bless his parents, because they run that boy everywhere. And
that's good. That's good parents.
But yeah, he's a very good kid.
Good.
And they're all good kids, you know, but you see differences even from season to season in their personalities and in the way they talk to people. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
So I forgot to ask one of the main questions. Where is FHS Youth Soccer located?
We play at the elementary school in Hymera.
Okay.
It was, I think it used to be baseball fields.
Okay.
A long time ago, and they hadn't been used. So again, to answer your question so
when this came about, that was just basically like a pasture.
Yes.
And what kind of work went into that? Because that's probably not, I think soccer field's a little different than just the cow pasture.
Right.
Way more work goes into it.
Yeah.
What about that?
So basically, you know, like the dugouts and stuff are still there. We pretty much just had some clearing out to do as far as woods. But most of it was just open. You know, there's some baseball poles and stuff like that, but nothing that's really obstructing what we need to do. And we do have plans a little bit at a time to, you know, invest further into better facilities. And we are getting 2 new picnic tables this season, by the way.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. So our sponsors have been awesome. You know, and again, it's something that we want people to look at and say, oh, you know, $40, we can afford that.
That's got to be the cheapest price anywhere, and for any sport. I mean, $40, and it's with the additional child's like
20.
Yeah, that's to learn a sport. I mean, that's even worth the gamble. Like, well, he doesn't know, but $40, what's the risk?
Right.
You know.
Right.
That's I commend you on that, because you could very easily make it 60, 70, 80. But you want to keep it affordable, correct?
Right.
And you said how many counties are on this year's roster? You sent it to me, and I can't remember what it said.
So school-wise, we've got Shakamak, Linton, North Central, Sullivan, Duggar, and probably missing one, but I can't remember for sure right now.
Riley?
We have a couple of Riley kids in our rec league.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's another thing is some of these kids have been with us since day one. I mean, and it's incredible to see them come back and they're 2 inches taller, you know, and, you know, I try to catch as much games as I can, on Saturdays, but sometimes it's just hard when you're taking care of other things and coaching your own team and, you know, but you see improvements in these kids and it's like, yeah, this is what it's all about.
Now with your Rex, side of the sport, do you play one on Saturdays? Do you play through the week? What's your schedule through the week for teams?
So we generally, our oldest groups practice twice a week. All our games are on Saturdays. We try to accommodate the best we can, like with other sports. If somebody says, hey, we got a baseball game or something, go do what you got to do. We play all our games on Saturdays. Just because through the week, everybody got so much going on as it is. And we start about 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings, generally games finish up about noon. Myself and the board members usually get out of there by 1:30, 2 o'clock. Okay. Time we get everything cleaned up and all that good stuff. So, our opening weekend is April 11th.
Okay.
I'm quite sure. Yeah. So, and another rewarding thing is, even the last couple of weeks, parents have sent me a message on Facebook. Hey, my kid's ready to play soccer. And, holding the soccer ball. And, well, one boy, Keithan is his name. His mom sent me a picture of him. He's got the soccer ball. And I'm like, what? Is he really excited to play, or is this some kind of targeting? Because he's not on my team this year. But regardless, he's a great kid. He's another one that's jumped on board, played rec, jumped on the travel team last year, did really well. As I said, it's been.
Yeah. With the travel, how does the travel schedule work? Home and away games, or how just go into more detail about
that? So last year with our middle school team, we started out with all away games. We just wanted to kind of get ourselves established playing with other schools, and so they could kind of get a look at us and see. There towards the end, we played a couple of, we had maybe 2-3 home games against Linton. We played Shoals at home. So we ended up pretty close to breaking even. I think we maybe played 8 or 9 games. Now the win-loss column wasn't perfect. That one game we did win, it was like it just got rid of all those losses. I mean, the kids worked so hard, and for me, when they lose, I feel bad because I feel like maybe I could have done more to prepare them. And you do what you can do.
You do what you got to do. But how many of those kids came back?
All of them plus newbies.
There's a win right there. That's the most important thing right there.
Yes.
And shout out to those kids for battling through that adversity. I mean, winning one game, that's tough. Is this worth it? Is all that work I'm putting in worth the one win? Well, you're going to double your wins now. You're going to triple your wins. I mean, it's just, the more wins they get, they're going to feel more proud. And but shout out to those kids for coming back.
Right.
They believe in this program. No. Are there sponsorship opportunities still available?
Yes, there is. I don't want to say we got too many, but we've been very fortunate.
Good.
Absolutely.
Thank you to all those sponsors.
Yes, thank you very much.
Didn't know if there's somebody else like, hey, I want to use somebody. I mean, it's hard to turn away money.
It is, especially for your equipment starts getting used and you need new nets, and we're actually going to try to get some new metal benches to put out there, because we just have the the benches that are the camping style fold outs, which are okay, but I'm sure everybody would prefer something a little better. But that's what we try to raise money, and sponsors do their fair share, and it all just kind of fell into place for us. And at times I'm like, it can't be really this easy. But sometimes it's not. Don't get me wrong.
And that's the thing with you're the head honcho. That's a thankless job. We were talking about before the show. And I thank you for doing that, because that's not easy, and not everybody can do that. Everybody thinks they can do that, but not everybody can actually do that, because you deal with so much more behind the scenes than people even realize. I do want to give you a thank you on that, because I've been there. Trust me. It's not easy.
No. But I mean, when you look at the big picture, and you look at the kids, and they're out there having a good time, it's like, hey, it's worth every second,
And it sounds like you have a really good board with you.
Yes. Yes.
Helping out.
We have, my wife, she doesn't like to claim that she's on the board, but she helps out with everything.
Yeah.
So we've got Josh Wolf, Harley Wolf, Barbara Lovelace. They've been with us from the get-go. And we have Taylor and Colton Cornwell, which they have been awesome this year with helping manage the littler kids, because they've got 2 young ones themselves, so they kind of know each kid's skill level, kind of where they're at, who their buddies are. You know, you got to make a mixture there.
Yep.
But yeah, they actually just moved to Washington, but they're like, yeah, don't worry, we're coming back. We'll be there.
That's dedication right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, we have monthly board meetings. They've been there and in the middle of all their moving and stuff, and like, hey, you know, you guys got to do what you got to do. Now we'll be there. Okie doke.
Well, thank you for making that drive, because that's not an easy drive.
No,
that's a pretty long drive. So shout out to those people.
Yes, but we have been blessed with really good board members.
It sounds like you have great coaches.
Yes,
coaches have all. And what kind of process goes into the coaches?
Generally, we just kind of you know, see who's got interest. You know, usually myself or somebody will kind of sit down with them, say, hey, you know, how much do you know? How well can you work with kids? That's the biggest thing is how well can you work with these kids? You know, they got YouTube videos for days on games or drills you can do. And it's just getting those kids to respond to your language, you know. And yeah, we have a coaches meeting. We kind of just get everybody on the same page. And we have a lot of returning coaches, which is awesome. My son is 7, and his coach this year, she didn't coach last year, but I was fortunate enough to con her into doing it this year. By request, of course, you know, because so many of the parents have said good things about all of them. But they notice when one's not there, you know, well, I thought she was coaching. Well, no, she's got other obligations, and that's all I know, you know. Yep. But I talked to her, and she's like, yeah, I think I could swing it. And okay, yeah, well, that's the famous saying. We'll roll with that. But yeah, it's to say we're blessed is an understatement.
Yeah.
You know, again, it's not just me, it's the community, it's our board members, coaches. So much goes into it. But at the end of the day, it's worth every second.
Absolutely. I ask all the coaches this: do you have any game day rituals you do? Are you superstitious? Like, I got to eat this hamburger. I had this one hamburger, we did really good, and I got to eat this hamburger for the rest of the season.
No, no. More so looking at paperwork, formations.
So you're more than just a coach. You got other things, other irons in the fire.
Well, for game day, you know, I've got my own little book, as most coaches do, I'm sure. You know, who we playing, who's on the personnel, you know, who's our stronger players, how do we attack that, how do we take them out of the game. Soccer is a sport I'm still learning. I was a basketball junkie growing up. But you know, I've been fortunate enough to take some things from basketball and apply them to soccer, which is, I guess, worked out because yeah, you know, people haven't really complained about me yet that I know of. If they do, I understand that too.
But no, that's what I like. For being such a young league, your growth is just astronomical, and that's what's so cool to see and hear. Just you started 84. Now, where are you at now? What we've got to now?
We're pushing 150 again.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
I think we've had about 15 or so in the last week.
That is awesome.
I mean, you know, and a lot of folks, and I get that part too. A lot of folks, well, we didn't see the sign-ups, or we missed it, or, you know, that we try to send flyers home with the kids at school. You know, well, parents didn't get it, or kid lost it. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? You can't turn kids away. You just can't. You hate for them to miss any opportunity like that.
What I found out with youth sports is, I mean, sometimes that's the only positive in kids' life. Sometimes, like, their home life's not great. They look forward to playing sports. They look forward to that. Sometimes that's what they need just to get away.
Right.
So that's why you can't turn a kid. It's impossible to turn a kid.
Absolutely. So let me ask you.
Okay.
running a league yourself, did you have any game day rituals or superstitions?
When I was an actual coach, yeah. Game one was fine. But if we won, I didn't cut my hair or shave, and I wore the same outfit every game until we lost. Now, as a parent, when my son played varsity football, that all still applied. But then it was what I eat for breakfast. The meals never changed until we lost. And that's just, yeah, that was me. I'm superstitious like that.
So you got a Kurt Signetti thing going on.
I do.
Yes, and that's not a bad thing.
No, and I'm like, all right, I can't dress like an idiot in game one because this could be a long season. And there were a couple times going on win streaks, I looked bad. I just looked awful. And I was like, I don't want to say, I hope we lose. This is like, I mean, just everywhere. I'm like, but yeah, that was my ritual. Once I became president, it was like, I just want to get through the day.
I understand. Yeah,
I appreciate it. That's the first time somebody's ever asked me that.
Well, you ask everybody what about themselves. So I thought, well, I'll come on here and get your bio.
I'm an open book.
Yeah, so, and you went to South, right?
I went to North. No, I went to Northview.
Northview, okay.
Yeah, I'm a Brazil guy.
Okay.
Born and raised here. So
now, is that a 3A school or?
So it's weird. Football, they're 4A. All the other sports except soccer, they're 3A. Soccer, they're 2A because I think there's only 2 classes. So.
I didn't know they had soccer.
Yeah. Don Ryan had been on the show. He's the godfather of soccer. He was the very first coach. He was co-ed at the time. And then I think it was in 97 or 98 when we got soccer. And then now they have a girls and a boys team.
It's awesome.
And Don Ryan's still out there. He is the girls varsity coach and pretty successful.
Good for him.
I mean, he runs the, well, I don't say he runs. I don't know what words about, but he is very involved with the soccer club here in town and the YMCA.
Awesome.
Programs.
Good for him.
I can get you his contact if you need to.
Absolutely.
No promises on what happens, but I can get you linked up with.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we've thrown a lot of proposals out there for games, and I understand they can't all say, yeah, we'll play, because a lot of teams like to book their schedule in advance, and you can't blame them because you roll from one sport to one sport to one sport, and then before you know it, somebody's dropping you, and that's another thing is with these travel teams, try to instill them like, we don't want to go in here and get blown out because people are going to be like, well, we don't want to waste our time playing you because competition breeds competition.
Absolutely.
And the kids responded really well to that last year at the middle school level. So I'm really excited for these high school kids. We actually had a meeting and some of these guys were like grown men. So I'm excited.
Yeah. You start venturing out, you see a lot. I remember saying we went to a football tournament in Tennessee. This kid was in 6th grade. He was my size.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I looked at my son and sucks for you, pal. Help me over on the sideline. Yeah, no, it like you said, competition breeds competition. That's what's cool, especially in the youth sports when you see that. But especially when a kid figures it out, it's like it finally clicks. Boom. Then they take on, they just shoot the moon. So it's really cool to see.
Absolutely. And I commend all these kids, especially that play, baseball. They got baseball practice during the week. They got games during the week. They're playing soccer and they go practice. They can turn around, got games on Saturday, and then they're playing travel, some other sport.
Yeah.
And like, man, that's a lot of energy.
No kidding. I would like to have a fraction of that. Just.
And shout out to the parents also for that, because that's can be very exhausting.
It can be very exhausting, and it's energy in the wallet.
Yes.
So, shout out to all the parents that make it possible for your kids to do the activities that they do.
Right.
Where can, if somebody's interested in playing or somebody's interested in sponsoring, where can they find you?
So we have a Facebook page, which is where we pretty much rely on most of our communication. I can leave my contact information with you.
Okay.
Folks are more willing to call, text, however you want to get a hold of me.
Okay.
Happy to have any kid that wants to play.
Yeah. Because you're not just Chimera Shelburne. You are.
We found out we are everywhere. Yes.
That's a good thing.
Yes, sir. It is.
And also, now that you've been on the podcast, you are now a part of the Dinerverse, a mythical universe of sports, wrestling, athletics, all that. So, coaches, I'm going to need you or parents, anybody, get some stats, send them to me. Youth Sports Chowdown Mondays at 7. It might drop to 6. I don't know. I got to figure that out. But it's on Monday nights. We talk about it. So please send the stats in. The kids love it.
And don't forget Sunday's a time change.
Yeah, so I'm going to lose an hour of sleep. Great. It's ruined my day.
One thing after another.
Yeah, but that's fantastic information. I'm so excited for the season for you guys. It's going to be, I look forward to covering it. Just keep expanding, keep growing, because you're doing great things for the community. I'm excited.
Well, we appreciate it, and appreciate your support and getting our name out there to other folks. And
I told them, said we're going to throw the graphic. There we go. Man on my word, we got the graphic. FHS Youth Soccer League. Go check them out. Check them out on Facebook. If you are interested and need contact information, reach out to me. I'll be the middleman. I don't want to give him, don't know what you're funding about that for millions of people to see. Reach out to me or message their page. That'd probably be better. Message their page. Real quick, I got to thank the people that make this possible for me, our sponsors, Wabash Valley Plumbing, RJ's Formal Wear, Varsity House Outfitters, and Everhote Co. Thank you to our sponsors. Also, thank you to our subscribers. For 99 cents per month, you can subscribe to the Diner Podcast, early access to all podcasts and other perks. So thank you to everybody. Coach, one last thing. I forgot. We have one last question. It's actually not a question, it's a statement. You need to thank your wife. I don't want to get you in trouble.
And it's our fault.
It is your fault, though. But
yes. She's a glue. She holds it all together. And she puts up with me. So that's
good.
That's worth a week's pay right there.
So, any closing remarks?
Just thank you to everybody that, has a hand in the whole thing, and let's keep growing and keep doing good things and keep the kids involved.
That's right. We're out of here. Love y'all. Keep pushing.